Imagine the scent of burning remains. Just this heavy, acrid cloud hanging over a small, dying town. Now picture a high-flying financial advisor from Atlanta. Slick suits, slicker deals, suddenly dragged back to that very town. Family crisis.
Right.
That's the crucible for our deep dive today. It's this gripping story of, well, buried secrets, brutal choices, and the profound, terrifying transformation of a man facing down his past.
Yeah.
And a really dangerous criminal underworld.
And what's truly compelling here, I think, is how the narrative just relentlessly pulls the main character, Roman, into this vortex of moral ambiguity.
Yeah.
We're not just following a plot, we're really dissecting the critical junctures of his journey. We're drawing from detailed accounts of his experiences, his family's long, dark history, and just the harsh realities of this town, Jefferson Run. So our mission, as we explore these sources for you today, is really to extract the most important nuggets of insight from Roman's harrowing path, give you a shortcut to understanding the complex forces at play and the unexpected, maybe even inevitable, transformation that leads him to become this King of Ashes.
Okay, so let's start where he starts, I guess. Far from Jefferson Run in shiny, prosperous Atlanta, that's where we meet Roman Carruthers, a man who has built this incredibly careful image of success. He's the pretty boy from Atlanta, right? Sharp financial advisor. His clients described as the front row of the bet awards. That says something.
It definitely paints a picture. Extravagant cars, exclusive restaurants, where even like his tailored shirts are custom cut to show off his very expensive Rolex.
Right. But what does all that really signify? It's not just about the money, is it?
No, I don't think so. It's more than just a lifestyle. It feels like a fortress he's built against his past.
Yeah.
This whole curated image, this almost over-the-top display of success, it serves as a kind of psychological shield, a complete divorce from the struggling hometown he left behind.
So he's performing success.
Exactly. Performing prosperity, almost like he's trying to convince himself as much as the world that he's truly escaped the gravity of Jefferson Run.
And then, boom, that carefully curated life just shatters. One phone call. His father, Keith Carruthers, owner of Carruthers Cremation Services, is in a coma. Severe truck and train accident.
And the location.
Chilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eerily close to the same tracks where Roman's mother's car was found years ago after she disappeared. So it's not just a medical emergency. It's like this traumatic echo, dragging him right back into the history he tried so hard to outrun.
Precisely. The accident doesn't just threaten his father, it immediately rips open the family's oldest, most painful wound. And he's not returning to some happy, functional family either.
No.
His older sister, Noir, she's described as carrying the family on her back like a modern-day Atlas, just visibly exhausted from running the crematory with their dad. She's hardened, pragmatic.
Carrying the weight of it all.
Yeah. And then there's Dante, the younger brother. Roman describes him with this mix of, I don't know, disdain and pity, as brittle as a baby bird and a babe lost in woods.
Yeah, Dante's struggles are just heartbreakingly clear, aren't they?
Yeah.
Deep in addiction, just broke up with his girlfriend, Thalia. And you see how profoundly he's still wrecked by their mother's disappearance all those years ago.
Right. This family unit is already fracturing even before Roman really steps back into the picture, under the weight of past grief, present dysfunction.
And then it gets worse, fast.
Exponentially worse. Dante, in this moment of vulnerability, confesses this dark secret, and it changes everything. He owes $250,000, which quickly becomes $300,000 to the Black Baron Boys, the BBB.
And these aren't just small-time guys.
No, not at all. They're a serious criminal enterprise, led by the ruthless Gilchrist brothers, Torrent and Tranquil. The debt is for heroin and Molly that Dante and his friends Getty and Cassidy used.
And Roman's reaction.
Initially, he completely underestimates them, just dismisses them with this chillingly naive thought. Gangsters are just CEOs who work the streets.
Wow, that line. Gangsters are just CEOs who work the streets. It just screams how disconnected he is from the brutal reality of Jefferson Run's underworld, a reality he's totally unequipped for.
Both externally and internally, as we find out. Because it's fascinating, even before this crisis hits, Roman was seeking this weird form of penance and absolution with a dominatrix called Miss Delicate.
Right, those supplemental appointments.
Yeah. He felt like Atlas carrying the full weight of his clients' lives, and these sessions were his escape, a place where he could actually surrender control.
That's a really crucial detail, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It reveals this deep-seated inner turmoil, this desire to be unburdened that existed long before his father's accident. It's almost like a twisted kind of preparation.
Hmm.
He sought penance in this controlled setting, craving a surrender of control. But the real world is about to force him into actions that demand a penance far, far beyond anything he ever imagined.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Mhm.
How quickly a carefully constructed life can just unravel when you're faced with these deep personal crises and long-buried family issues.
Definitely. And Roman's initial reaction, his whole financial advisor mindset, it's just utterly useless here. What it really shows is that in extreme situations, those abstract values we think we hold dear, they often get immediately overridden by the primal instinct to protect your own, no matter the cost to your soul.
Absolutely. And it's that instinct that really starts his terrifying descent, the crematory, a place meant for, dignified closure.
Yeah.
It quickly becomes the crucible for his transformation.
His first attempt to negotiate with Torrent and Tranquil, right there at the crematory, it goes disastrously wrong.
He offers what? $200,000 cash? The rest later, throws in his financial expertise.
Yeah, businessman's offer, totally out of sync with the brutal reality he's facing.
And Torrent's response.
Swift, savage, rejects the offer outright. Then Tranquil brutally breaks Roman's 3 front teeth with a gun barrel.
Oh, God.
It's not just violence, it's visceral, it's symbolic. It shatters his pretty boy image, destroys that facade, and delivers this brutal, undeniable message. The rules in Jefferson Run are very different from the boardrooms in Atlanta.
Chilling. So Roman is bleeding, humiliated, basically staring death in the face.
And in that moment of sheer desperation to save himself, to save Dante, he makes what you can only call a devil's bargain.
He offers the crematory.
Yeah, as a place to make your problems disappear. And that's the pivotal, irreversible point. The family business transforms from this, sacred space for processing the dead to a dark tool for the criminal underworld.
And the first problem doesn't wait long.
Arrives swiftly. The BBB bring Getty, Dante's friend, and Splutty, a snitch from their own crew, both bound and gagged.
And what follows? It's horrific.
It's like this awful ritualistic initiation for Roman. Dante, in a desperate move, he can't let Cassidy, Getty's girlfriend, be killed, strikes Splutty with a hammer.
Oh, man.
Suddenly, Roman faces this stark choice. It's him or us. He's forced to incinerate Getty and Splutty in the ovens, taping Getty into a cremation box, activating the furnace. It's not abstract anymore. It's the gruesome, searing reality of burning for Salazar, a previous victim, and now for his own desperate act of survival.
The aftermath must be just as stark. Deep psychological scars, surely.
Absolutely. Cassidy is released, given $1,000, told to disappear forever. Roman tells her they're going to think you're dead. The deception just deepens.
And then another layer of betrayal.
Right. Dante confesses that Getty hadn't just lost the Molly, he'd actually sold it and cut it to double his money, so the whole debt was built on even more treachery.
Unbelievable. And for Roman,
yeah,
the physical cost is right there.
Immediately evident. He gets expensive dental implants, a painful, constant reminder of that brutal negotiation, and it contrasts so sharply with his childhood, His parents couldn't afford proper dental care for him then.
Wow. So it underlines this new, dark price of his choices, a return to a harder reality.
Yeah. And as he's grappling with the horror of it all, he finds himself whispering, "This is not who you are." Just this desperate attempt to quiet the fear, the guilt. It shows this profound internal struggle with who he's becoming.
It's such a powerful moment. It shows you that line between doing what's necessary and becoming what you fight against. It doesn't just blur under pressure. It gets actively redrawn.
Yeah.
Leaves indelible marks.
Yeah. And what's truly unsettling is while Roman's being pulled deeper into this brutal underworld, his sister Neve is simultaneously digging into an older, equally dark family secret.
The mother's disappearance.
Exactly. She's consumed by it. 19 years ago, the town whispers, this relentless chorus, always suggested their father burnt her up. An accusation never fought for years, but now it haunts her with this new intensity, especially with their father lying there in a coma.
She needs answers.
Desperately. Peeling back the layers of denial, she starts digging. Talks to Marion, a friend of her mother's. Marion says Mamita loved Keith, but heartbreakingly felt he loved the crematory more.
Yes.
Then Neves seeks out Lawrence, her mother's secret lover.
Okay.
Lawrence recounts the night Keith caught them kissing in the car. He describes Keith's face not as violent, but as heartbroken. this look of profound, silent devastation.
Not rage, but heartbreak.
Right. And Bonita, in this really telling gesture, slipped her heart-shaped diamond ring back on while locking eyes with Keith. Lauren says, "The man I saw that night loved your mama, and he looked devastated." It paints this picture of quiet, agonizing betrayal.
So it makes Keith even more complex. Not just a potential monster, but a deeply hurt man.
Exactly. But the true devastating discovery, it comes when Neva, just at her breaking point with all these family secrets, she smashes their old ceramic teddy bear cookie jar in anger.
And inside,
Human remains and a hard, twisted piece of metal, melted, question mark shaped, with a burnished heart at the bottom.
the ring.
Instantly recognizes it. Part of her mother's heart-shaped ring. This doesn't just confirm her father cremated their mother. It shatters Neva's entire world, exposes the full weight of the family's benevolent lie about what happened.
And then the source material just delivers this absolute gut punch, a flashback. June 6, 2004.
Revealing the full, tragic truth.
A 16-year-old Roman and Dante. They witness their mother kissing Oscar, Keith's trusted employee, right there at the crematory. Roman, in this fit of teenage rage, pushes his mother. She falls, hits her head on a work table, and dies.
Oh my God, an accident.
A horrific accident. The father finds them, cries silently, then makes the impossible choice. He cremates her and swears the boys to a lifelong secret. We can't never tell nobody what happened. Nobody, not even Neva.
That's the origin.
That's the origin of the family's love language, of lies, forever shaping their lives. It reveals the source of Roman's deep guilt, his need for penance, and maybe his capacity for extreme measures later on.
It makes you grapple with how these family secrets, especially rooted in such profound accidental tragedy, they don't just shake lives, they warp them for decades, making the truth, when it finally comes out, almost unbearable.
It's the ultimate revelation, isn't it? Explains so much about Roman, his need for absolution, that underlying ruthlessness we start to see.
Yeah. And now, armed with this deeper understanding of his own capacity for darkness, Roman plunges even deeper into the BBB's world, but differently now, with this new strategic ruthlessness.
He starts using his financial skills.
Exactly. Leveraging his expertise to launder money, invest for Torrent and Tranquil, he's determined to use their ill-gotten gains as clay to build a financial masterpiece. But his real plan, engineer their downfall. He believes everybody has a weakness. Theirs is greed.
So he's not just surviving anymore. He's becoming this calculated manipulator,
Yeah.
weaponizing his legitimate skills for profoundly illegitimate ends.
And this new path leads him into a really complicated and deeply deceptive relationship with Jay, nicknamed Jealousy. She's an administrative assistant in the mayor's office.
And he finds out.
Quickly discovers she's Torrent and Tranquil's sister.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Despite their growing connection, her positive nerd vibes, he lies to her constantly about his involvement with her brothers, claims he's helping them go straight.
He knows it's wrong, though.
He acknowledges it himself, thinking about the lies that were the shifting sand upon which they were building a relationship. It shows this huge internal conflict. He's building something real with Jay, potentially, but it's all founded on lies. It shows the personal toll his choices are taking.
And his manipulations, they go beyond the streets, right, into politics.
Far beyond. He forces Mike Handler, owner of Guardian Construction, into partnership through sheer intimidation and torture. Uses vice grips on the guy's flesh until he signs over controlling interest.
Jesus. That's brutal. Not just business.
No, it's a raw demonstration of power. Then he meets with Mayor Gravely, reveals the mayor's own corruption in this revitalization project in the Skids, a poor area of town.
The leverage.
Exactly. Secures lucrative contracts for Guardian Construction, further entangling his legitimate business dealings with the BBB's criminal enterprises. He's systematically weaving the underworld into the very fabric of Jefferson Run's legitimate power structures. It shows how deep the rot goes in that town.
So he's not just surviving, he's becoming this architect of the shadows.
A true architect. And his friend Khalil, this dangerous but loyal associate, he becomes a crucial fixer in this new game.
Khalil does the dirty work.
Orchestrates attacks on BBB stash houses, burns one down, stages a fake drive-by at their club, the Kingdom, all designed to pressure Torrent. Khalil operates with this cold efficiency, famously reminding Roman that love may not endure, but fear endures.
A chilling philosophy, one Roman seems to be embracing.
He's forced to. And the escalating violence just underscores the danger. Torrent, enraged by the attacks, the lost stash house. He brutally stabs a young guy, Eddie Munsta, to death over some perceived slight.
Just like that.
Yeah. It shows Torrent's volatile, extreme nature, a stark reminder that Roman is playing with forces far more chaotic than any financial model.
Looking at all this, what really strikes you is Roman's calculated transformation. He's moved beyond just reacting. He's actively manipulating this truly dangerous game.
But the critical question always is at what cost? To his own soul, his relationships, especially with Jay and Dante, who are just getting pulled deeper and deeper into his orbit.
And that cost, it's immense, and it's about to be paid in devastating currency.
Yeah, the consequences of Roman's choices really start to unravel, leading to these ultimate sacrifices. Cassidy, Getty's old girlfriend, she comes back to Jefferson Run.
The loose end.
The biggest loose end. A living testament to Roman's first horrifying act at the crematory. Her return makes Dante's situation incredibly precarious. And Roman, in this gut-wrenching decision, tells Khalil she has to go, one way or the other, do it.
Oh no, he orders her death.
He crosses that irrevocable line, ordering a murder to protect his secrets, the fragile stability he's tried to build. It's horrifying.
Meanwhile, there's Detective Chauncey Mansfield.
Right, and in another layer of Jefferson Run's tangled corruption, he's having an affair with Neve. He interrogates Roman.
And
Reveals Getty was a confidential informant for the police, tries to pressure Roman to become an informant himself, offers to help set up the BBB.
The irony, Roman's now neck-deep in the very world he's being asked to expose.
Yeah, exactly. It just highlights the pervasive corruption. So Roman, still trying to control things, devises this trap. Sets up a meeting between the BBB and another crew, the Ghost Town crew, in an abandoned warehouse, hoping Chauncey intervenes, arrests the BBB leaders.
But the plan goes wrong.
Spectacularly wrong. Torrent reveals he knows about Roman's double dealing. And then the ultimate tragedy. Dante, armed with a Desert Eagle, rushes to the warehouse. He's seeking revenge for Cassidy, who he thinks the BBB killed, unaware that Roman ordered her death.
Oh, God.
A shootout erupts. Dante is massacred, shot full of holes. Roman is forced to witness his own brother's devastating death, the direct result of his choices.
Dante's death. That's just the ultimate devastation, isn't it? Shatters what little innocence or hope might have been left.
Completely. And Neve, distraught by Dante's death, finally confronted with the truth about their mother. She declares she is done lying.
She walks away.
Refuses to help care for their comatose father. Leaves Roman utterly alone to shoulder the immense burden of his shattered family. His attempts to protect them have failed catastrophically. He's truly isolated now.
It's a moment of just profound, irreversible loss for him.
It is. And yet, in this rare moment of vulnerability shattered by Dante's death, he actually finds some solace with Jay. Yeah. He goes to her, trembles, cries, asks her, "What am I supposed to do now?" It's this brief glimpse of his raw humanity, despite the incredibly dark path he's taken, a reminder of the man he was before Jefferson Run just consumed him.
This whole unraveling.
Yep.
Makes you ask, doesn't it? In a world where violence and corruption are so tangled up, can you ever really achieve justice? Or does it always come at this unbearable, devastating personal cost?
And how do you cope when the lies you told to protect people ultimately lead to unimaginable loss? It's heavy stuff.
The aftermath is just
Yeah.
a desolate landscape. Roman's left with the full crushing weight of everything he's done, all the consequences.
Dante's dead. Neve's distanced herself. His father's still in a coma. And he is deeply, deeply entrenched in the criminal underworld he tried and failed to manipulate.
His carefully constructed life, both in Atlanta and the facade he tried to build in Jefferson Run, it's all just ashes.
And in that desolation, something new, almost horrifying, begins to emerge. With Jay. After seeing Roman holding court with the BBB guys, observing those ominous flames from the crematory oven, Jay discovers she's 2 weeks late for her period.
Oh, wow.
And she whispers, "Everything burns," echoing Roman's father's saying. It links her future, a potential new life, directly to this relentless cycle of destruction and Roman's transformation. It implies this tragic, inescapable legacy.
The cycle continues. Roman, alone at the crematory. He fully embraces his new reality, doesn't he?
He does. He reflects on everything burns. Thinks of his father, his brother, his mother. He sees those flames blooming behind the tempered glass of the oven door like furious red and orange roses, burning for Salazar the same way they did when they devoured the 3 people he loved more than life itself.
That's powerful imagery.
It is. And in that moment of profound loss, grim acceptance, he stops fighting his fate. Stops fighting his identity. He's ready to deal with the BBB on his own terms now. He recognizes a king without a queen or pawns is just a piece of wood sitting on a board.
He's no longer the man from Atlanta.
No. He is the King of Ashes, ruling over a kingdom forged in his own and his family's destruction.
So what does this all mean for us then? Roman's journey. It forces us to confront this really unsettling idea, doesn't it? That sometimes to protect what we love, we have to descend into the very darkness we're trying to escape.
He sought penance, that surrender of control, remember? But he found himself transformed into someone wielding ruthless control, becoming the King of Ashes. It makes you consider the profound implications, ruling a kingdom built on destruction. And how do you reconcile the person you once were with the person you've become after facing impossible choices?
Indeed. This deep dive into Roman's world really shows us that while everything burns, maybe not all ashes are equal.
How so?
Well, some are just the remnants of what's lost, right?
Right.
While others, they become the very foundation for a new, maybe darker kind of power.
That's a really provocative thought. It leaves you wondering, what kind of ashes might you find yourself building upon in your own life? And what does that foundation truly mean for your future, for your identity?
It's a powerful and, thought-provoking conclusion to a truly intense narrative.
Absolutely. It leaves you with so much to ponder. Loyalty, morality, the true price of protection.
Definitely. We really encourage you to reflect on Roman's choices and just the ripple effects they had on everyone around him. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.